Well, good morning, everyone. Let's kick things off as you are maybe heading out and enjoying this beautiful day. Maybe going for a walk. Maybe you're going for a jog. Maybe you're heading off to work, but you're going to see a noticeable difference in the weather. So we'll talk about that for you. It is 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're ready to kick this off for your Wednesday. It's going to be a Wellness Wednesday. So we'll incorporate a little workout, we'll incorporate some motivation, and get you all up to date on the things that are going on around our world that I think you can use, right? The news you can use, some entertainment news, a little sports news, and some things that are going around your world. And maybe you want to talk about it with your family and your friends that are scattered all throughout the United States. As you're popping on, do me a favor, say hello and let us know where you are watching from. That's what I always love to know. I am a little disappointed. I went to go live with you and found out that we're not on X this morning, which is unfortunate. So we'll have to get that switched. Evidently, you now have to have a premium account in order to stream. So guess I will be giving money to Elon Musk, which, by the way, he is in the news today for a couple of reasons. So yeah, Elon, don't you have enough money? No, I guess not, because he's giving it away. And we'll talk about that in just a second. Good morning to each and every one of you. I hope you're having a great start to your day. Let's just go ahead and talk about the beautiful change in the weather. So if you are or haven't yet, I want you to go ahead and open the door, maybe even open the windows. It's so beautiful this morning. 86 degrees for the high today. So different than what we've been talking about. Like 102 the other day. Then we drop into the low to mid 90s. And then now it's going to be mid 80s and even dropping into the low 80s. As you can see, there is still a very slight chance that maybe someone in our listening area, our viewing area, might see some rain popping up. But otherwise, mainly dry and much cooler, which is awesome. 65 for your low, 82. And look at that, 82 again on Friday. So Thursday and Friday, 82. Back in the mid 80s on Saturday, low 80s on Sunday. You can see a little more clouds moving in this weekend. 82 for Monday and 85 for Tuesday. And that's when the rain starts to pop back into us. Now, some of you, as you're heading out this morning, and maybe you were already on the roads and now you're at work and you're bringing us along with you, which is awesome. Again, wherever you can, bring the message of positivity. Some of you dealing with some fog. So if that's the case, maybe let somebody know that's still at your home getting ready to head out, because that could be a little dangerous, especially on some of the stretches out on I-44. So a heads up to you there. If you're just tuning in, I just want to welcome you to the show. It's the Real Monica Adams Show, and we are on Facebook. Two of my accounts. I have a business account, and for those of you watching on my personal account now or later, I want to have you watch more on my business side, because that's where all of these comments come in, like all the people that are signing on already saying, good morning, friends. Julie Fabian's on, Kathleen Morris. Julie says, yay, Elon. She probably knows about the story I'm getting ready to talk about. Linda Eckert, good morning to you. If you are new to the show, of course, do us a favor and say where you're watching from, because that's what I'd love to know. And what do you think about this behind me? I've got the beach behind me, and that's all because I am ready to head out of the country. In fact, if you didn't know, Michelle and myself and a couple of her friends, we are going to Cabo San Lucas. Now, we're not staying at my resort that we go to about every other year. We're actually staying at a golf resort that she and her husband have a timeshare at. So that's going to be a lot of fun. A little girls getaway weekend. We'll have that. I'll talk a little bit more about that coming up for you. One of the things that I know a lot of you wish you could do was probably get away after what you experienced yesterday. Just look through some of these devastating pictures and videos that I'm going to show you this morning. A Festus mobile home park floods, residents forced to evacuate for several hours. At least some of those residents were forced to do that yesterday afternoon after the mobile home park flooded. And that is the story that we heard all over. In fact, a St. Clair County Animal Center flooded, and they are needing volunteers. They're needing obviously donations. And this is at several area shelters. And because of the flooding, because of the weather, tornadoes possibly in our area, not confirmed just yet, but I was getting home and had at about 12 o'clock or 11:45, got a notification on my phone, big alert that there was a possible tornado in the area down near Cedar Hill. And there was another one in our area as well that went off yesterday. Again, still waiting to confirm those, but flying debris, you had gushing water, animals getting scared and running all over the place. So the shelters are needing you, especially St. Clair County. This is is a view for you on I-55 near Butler Hill. That was flooding yesterday. How many of you dealt with this and posted some of your own pictures? Look at this. This is in Nashville, Illinois. A person swimming through the flooded waters on I-64 in Nashville, Illinois. Can you see that there? From one side of the highway to the next, swimming across that grassy area. I don't know why. I mean, it looks like, I guess the car was broken down, maybe swimming to try to get somebody to get some help. But there were tons of people that I saw on social media yesterday say, yeah, I almost thought of doing that in my own neighborhood. And then this message from our St. Louis Fire Department.
St. Louis Fire Department and the St. Louis Police Department on scene south of Market. Again, we strongly encourage folks, do not drive into standing water. Very difficult to gauge the depth of the water, and more than likely your vehicle will stall out, placing you and your passengers in danger. Again, please avoid driving through standing water.
Was the area as well, or the look, I should say, as well. This is Manchester and New Baldwin Road. Unbelievable. Is this what any of you dealt with yesterday? And then there was a woman that posted on her social media. That was her standing at a gas station, and they shut the gas station down shortly after she was there. That is truly the story all over the place. Tell me where you were. Did you deal with any of that? We didn't have that. We actually sit up. I think a lot of you that have heard in the past, we've got this really high area that we set up, and we've got this driveway that goes straight down. So we would never deal with flooding per se. We've got some other things that we would have to deal with being up so high. But my heart went out to so many of you dealing with that and still dealing with it this morning. I saw one of the fire stations that just had water gushing into it yesterday. That's the big story of the day from yesterday into today, that now the Federal Emergency Management Agency is stepping in, asking you to do just what I showed, which is grab pictures of it, grab video of it, and they will never, by the way, ask you for money. Do not get scammed out of things. They're asking you to provide pictures and video where they can step in and help. Obviously, you can call your local law enforcement, call your insurance company. That there's going to be a ton of phone calls to insurance, I'm sure, because of flooding, probably in basements, etc. So again, thoughts and prayers as so much water. I know a lot of people were excited to see it for their grass and see it for the plants and all their flowers, but see, it's just the positive and negative side of life. You're happy on that end, but then many others dealing with power outages. I've got a client who was supposed to come to the house today dealing with power outages, and you know what that means. Suddenly you're shifting everything out of the refrigerator, trying to find a new place for it to go. So that's the big story from our local area, and then you see it actually around the United States as well. All right, Julie was saying yay Elon to this earlier. Elon Musk says he's moving SpaceX and X, his two big tech companies, their headquarters from California to Texas. Okay, let me give you this rundown. Musk says he's going to move those because of a new law that was signed into effect on Monday by California Governor Gavin Newsom that bans the school districts from requiring staff to notify parents of their child's gender identification change. He says that's the final straw. Quote, I did make it clear to Governor Newsom about a year ago that laws of this nature would force families and companies to leave California to protect their children. So that was one of the big stories. But then, of course, you also may have heard that Musk says he will donate, get this, $45 million a month, not just $45 million, but $45 million a month to a new super political action committee backing former President Donald Trump's re-election campaign. Now, if you remember, it was about a year ago that he said he would not give money to Trump or Biden, but things have changed. Despite reportedly donating to the Political Action Committee, the Tesla founder was not listed on a Monday filing from America PAC that revealed it had raised over $8 million. Musk remains the only Fortune 100 CEO to fully endorse a candidate in the 2024 presidential race. And again, as I mentioned, he previously voted for Democratic candidates, including President Biden, in the 3 previous election cycles. In recent years, the tech mogul vocalized his frustration with Democrat policies, such as Biden's indefinite support for labor unions and his decisions regarding immigration and the border. So that's definitely a talker today. Yesterday, we played the national anthem, or what was not the national anthem. I don't know if you heard it. We're not going to play it again because dogs were howling everywhere. But the singer, Ingrid Andress, came out and said that she was drunk during her botched rendition of the national anthem. Yeah. And she's now saying that she is going to check herself in to to a rehab center, and she apologized again, saying that she was drunk. If you didn't see it, I mean, you might want to Google it just so you can know what we're all talking about. But this was her statement. I'm not going to, well, all right, let's just be real. She said, I'm not going to bullshit you all. I was drunk last night, 2 nights ago. I'm checking myself into a facility to get the help I need. That was not me. I apologize to Major League Baseball, all the fans, and the country that I love so much for that rendition. I'll let you all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. XO Ingrid. So wow, huh? I mean, that's what a lot of people were saying. Like she had to be drunk or something was wrong. People were wondering, is there something going on in the feedback in her ear? So many levels of things that you were trying to figure out why in the world. The very next night, last night, was a beautiful rendition right before the All-Star game. Cody Johnson sang the national anthem. Incredible country artist. I love, in fact, he's the reason, well, I'm not going to say he's the reason, but his song, is one of the reasons that I was tearing up and crying so much when I decided to walk away from TV and start this show. There was so much about his song that just was extremely powerful to me. And I would hear it every time I turned the radio on about a year and a half ago, or almost 2 years ago. Everywhere I went, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. And I was like feeling that there was messages from heaven, messages from my dad to say, do it, do it, do it. While everybody else around you would tell you, no, 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 don't take the leap. That song to me. So when you think about signs, because we'll talk about motivation today, when you think about signs, listen to them no matter where they're coming from. And sometimes they come in the form of a song from a country artist. And for me, boy, that song he had a couple of years ago did it for me for sure. He's got so many incredible ones, but when you talk about going for it and the signs that are around you, if you hear those messages, follow them, right? You definitely are being guided in the right direction. Okay, other information I want to give you. Jack Black ending his Tenacious D tour after a bandmate's Trump shooting comment. So this was an article, and I'm not subscribing to any kind of news organization. So I just got briefly the information on it, and it was about his bandmate, not Jack Black. But here's the deal. The comedy rock duo, Tenacious D, made up of Jack Black and Kyle Gass, has canceled the rest of their tour after Gass's remarks about the assassination attempt. While on stage at a concert in Sydney on Sunday, Gass was presented with a birthday cake and asked to make a wish by Black. He responded, quote, "Don't miss Trump next time." How ridiculous and hate-filled, right? How callous and cold. An apparent reference, of course, to the rally shooting a day before that left the former president with his injured ear. The video of Gass was widely circulated on social media. And then Black came out in a statement on Tuesday on Instagram and said, quote, "I was blindsided, but what was said at the show on Sunday, I would never condone hate speech or encourage political violence in any form. After much reflection, I no longer feel it's appropriate to continue the Tenacious D tour, and all future creative plans are on hold. I'm grateful to the fans for their support and their understanding." And then after that statement, Gass apologized on Instagram and said, "The line I improvised Sunday night in Sydney was highly inappropriate, dangerous, and a terrible mistake. I don't condone violence in any kind, in any form, against anyone. What happened was a tragedy. I'm incredibly sorry for my severe lack of judgment." Well, a little bit too late, right? And I just feel bad because this was not done by Jack, but he, of course, felt that there's no way he could go on with him, associate himself with him. Again, as you hear some of these stories, feel free to weigh in at any point of anything that you want to comment on. I'll read your comments a little bit later. And then I want to give you this news before we take our break and get into our workout segments and our motivational segments. Congratulations to one of our local high school athletes. He was picked up by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the Major League Baseball draft. Francis Howell alum Titus Sissel, the 132nd pick in the fourth round of the Major League Baseball draft. Sissel played shortstop for the Vikings from 2021 to 2024, leading his team to 2 Missouri State final appearances. How cool is that, right? We've got so many amazing athletes and talent here in our area. So congratulations to him. And then I just saw this. I didn't get a chance to put a picture up for you this quick, but the Mirage. How many times have you all been to the Mirage or even been to Vegas? The Mirage Hotel, which my cousins worked at for so many years in Las Vegas, today is its final day, closing its doors after this. Earlier in the year, they closed the Tropicana, and they are doing all of this to get ready. So the Mirage closing to make way for a Hard Rock, the Tropicana closed to get ready for the new baseball stadium that they're building. Again, more and more coming to Las Vegas. They got the hockey team, now they got Major League Baseball, all of these things. So congratulations to Vegas, but kind of sad because I just have so many memories of my cousins and my aunt, by the way, rest in peace. She died from cancer a long time ago, but they all worked there at the Mirage. So yeah, some interesting things. I remember when the Dunes was imploded, I sang there after a contest that I won here in St. Louis back in my, I guess early 20s. So yeah, going into Vegas and just seeing all these changes, but that's the evolution of our world, is it not? Well, now you're all up to date in weather, in news you can use, in entertainment news, a little local sports news as well. Today, we're going to break things down in your fitness, workout, and your motivational segments. And then we'll look at some of your comments as well. If you're just tuning in, if you have topics or guests that you would like to see on the show, whether it's when I'm remote, whether it is when we're in studio, whether there's a business you want us to broadcast live from, let us know that as well. Email me. It's on the screen here now, info@therealmonicaadams.com. Reach out to me if you just say, I've got a remarkable business that probably should be featured and spotlighted. If you've got things that will make us laugh and the things that will make us go, wow, I can't believe the person's come from that and overcome all those levels of things that we want to show on the show. That's what the show is about, by the way. It is all the levels of what we go through in life, but we do it together. And then many of the things that people had asked me when I started the show was to do my Monica's motivational moments, the workout segments that I used to do on Channel 5. Well, we definitely carried that over here as a part of Wednesdays and Fridays, or if we have something booked on one of those days, we definitely always will from here forward give you some fitness tips that you can incorporate in your own life. So yesterday, my interns and myself, we were at the wonderful Ritz-Carlton, and we had a chance to tape a segment, and it was an area that they wanted to work on. So I hope that some of you can do this either now or that you hang on to this and you can do it a little bit later. But let's get into a little workout. Hey, it's Monica. We're at the fabulous Ritz-Carlton in Clayton, and today we're going to do our workout right here because when it's gross outside, you should get in the gym and get your butt working. And today it's exactly what you're going to do because Ashlyn and Kelsey, my 2 interns, they wanted to know what can you do to shape the legs, and more specifically, we're going to do your inside, your outside, and your booty. That's all coming up today on Workout Wednesday. Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball.
Oh my God. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. A whole lot of fun going on for sure. And you can have a lot of fun as well when you get into the pool. And now that our weather is dropping down, you actually might even say that it's a little chilly. I bet you might. This is the inside look of Just Pools and Spas. They are in Arnold on the West Outer Road. They've got the spas for you. They've got all the fun toys, everything that you need. Don't forget about those pool cleaners. Yes, that has made my life so much easier. I got the Dolphin pool cleaner, and you just let the thing go. Sometimes it vacuums for you one, two, three times a day, and you don't have to do the manual part of it. You do have to make sure that you get those chemicals, though. Take care of the pool so that it will take care of you and your family and friends. Again, it's just pools and spas. If you want to build your own little oasis in the backyard, it could look like this. You can talk to them about the tables, the chairs, again, the water features. Maybe you're looking for those Adirondack chairs. I just purchased a couple of those. Those are actually bar stool height, as you can see. They're really heavy and sturdy, so they're not going to just go flying away when we have wind like we saw yesterday. And there you go. Oh, doesn't that sound? Oh, that sounds just amazing. So, in-ground pools, above-ground pools. You want to have one put in? Well, make sure that it's the only place that you call. Just pools. Pool and spa specialist, again, right there on the West Outer Road in Arnold. Make it a part of your next summer because they can probably put this in for you as early as this fall. They told me that they do have a couple of spots still available for you. It just completely changes your life and it just calms you. And maybe you add a couple of little special features to your in-ground pool just like that. If you've been thinking about it, pull the trigger, but don't pull it with anybody else than my friends at Just Pools. All right, welcome back. It is 7:21. Again, a little bit of a different look, as I mentioned this morning. I've got behind me things that matter most to me. Water that calms me. And then you see over my shoulder here, that is one of my favorite pictures that was ever taken of my mom and myself at our wedding, right into our dance that we did, our mother-daughter dance. Before we get into the fitness segment that I just teased you on, let me see everybody else that's coming on. Good, sunny, and dry morning, Joe says. I'm watching from my patio and enjoying the beautiful weather while having my coffee. Yeah, what a great day for that, for sure. Luann, good morning. Tony, good morning. Kelsey is on, and she is doing the moderating for you. Debbie, good morning from Warrenton, looking pretty in the morning. Morning, everyone tuning in. Jenny, good morning. Oh, these temperatures are her perfect walking weather, she says. Yeah, definitely. You know, the good thing is I've always, for the last couple of weeks, been saying to get out and do your exercise early because it's so oppressively hot. Not the case for the next several days. You can do your exercise now, walk the dogs. I'm going to plan to do that as soon as the show wraps up and be able to enjoy it and not have them panting like crazy and having to give them water every few steps. So yeah, you're definitely getting the weather on your side if you're like me, where you like to go and work out outside. Linda, I lived and worked in Nashville, Illinois when I was young. Prayers to the people put out by the reservoir break they had yesterday. It was a real mess there. Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't see those pictures that I was showing earlier, that was truly the story of the day everywhere. The flooding videos saturating social media, especially the one of the guys swimming across the road, across the highway. Again, residents in Nashville told to evacuate their homes after a secondary failure of the Nashville Dam. The department noted that the primary dam had not failed, but had overtopped with water. But yeah, that's the big story. Amen to Elon Musk, Terry says. Thanks for the positive news. Ricky Alio, he should donate money to help the poor people. So many people are going hungry in this country. You know, I have a feeling that that guy donates a lot of money to a lot of things. You know, if he has $45 million a month, then I think he's got money that he's putting all over the place. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. She shouldn't have disgraced our national anthem. I know, Debbie, unbelievable that she was drunk. My husband's like, how in the world did they allow her out there if she was drunk? I don't know how they didn't know. Wayne, good morning. And Julie, so inappropriate. I'm guessing you're talking about the national anthem. Jenny, never been to Vegas. I need to go sometime. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's not a place that I would go regularly. I'm not a gambler. I think I might put something in a slot machine, but I'm much more into fashion. I would rather spend my money on fashion than I ever would want to put it in a slot machine or on the tables any day. Not my thing, but I know that a lot of people enjoy that. I just hope you don't have an addiction with it because it can get really out of hand. Thankful for Jack Black and recognizing the negativity and taking control of the situation. No room for such hate. Time to unite together. I know, right? And recognize the positive movement. And speaking of uniting, tomorrow night, you know, the National Republican National Convention continues. I watched a little bit of it last night. I saw Carrie Lake speaking. I love her. She came from a news background and then got into politics. Eric Schmidt. Some influencers I did not recognize. Some reality stars did not recognize. Vivek Ramaswamy, very well spoken. Anybody else stand out for those of you that saw the RNC? It continues, and it's tomorrow night when former President Donald Trump is supposed to speak. And when he walked into day one, a lot of people were talking about that he looked so very different, that he looked very emotional and very humble. He ripped up the speech that he was going to deliver on Thursday, and his whole speech is supposed to talk about unity and uniting the country. So very, very interesting. Laura Trump. Yes, Laura was incredible. Actually, I watched Laura right before I went to bed, Julie. Sean, good morning from Morristown, Ohio. Jenny says, yes, same. Let's go on a fashion trip soon. So Jenny, by the way, I'll deliver the news to you live. We're going to dinner tonight. Not lunch tomorrow, but dinner tonight. So you're going to see me sooner than later. Jenny Egan reached out to me. And if there's anybody else that's interested, I had a post on LinkedIn and on my social media on Facebook for sure. I may have put it on Instagram, but Facebook and LinkedIn, saying that as we grow with this show, when we are in studio Monday, Tuesday, when we're out mobile doing mobile Monica's on Thursday, as we are spreading the love of positivity, I'm looking for more and more to join the team. I'm looking for more interns. We've got a new girl named Hannah Ledford that is joining us, maybe as early as late next month and into the fall. I love Kelsey and Ashlyn and just their incredible growth in the last month. They're from SIUE, by the way. If you have someone that is in school getting ready to graduate and you want them to be a part of our show, well, reach out to me. I'll put it up on the screen again for you. info@therealmonicaadams.com. If you'd like someone to sponsor the show. We were doing a ton of mobile Monicas since the beginning of January. Every Thursday booked for mobile Monicas. We have tomorrow, Yuppie Puppies, Forever Rescue. We're doing back-to-back shows. Normally it's every other Thursday, but since I will be right there by the beach next week, we are going to be doing Yuppie Puppies Positive Talk Time tomorrow. If you're not familiar with that, we kicked it off back in February with Jessica Cook. Now, I'm going to talk to her, make sure that the rescues that they have, that none of them are coming in from the weather conditions that we've had, and see if any of them came in from 4th of July, because animals have a tendency to get scared and then they run away. And then all these shelters have to bring in new pets when they're already overcrowded. But yeah, I had a lady stop me at church this past weekend and she said, Monica, I watched your show about never discarding pets. Like you don't take a pet in, adopt them, and then decide after a year, or like one lady did after 4 years, deciding to send them back to a shelter after they had such a connection to you. They become a part of your family. They are not to be discarded. And I can't say that over and over and over enough. So thank you to the woman that I met at church who said that it was her favorite show I've ever done. She said, I just loved the message that you had. Well, that's part of what we want to do when we do Positive Talk Time. So you'll see it say on the screen every other Thursday, but just letting you know that we have our mobile Monica from Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa in Cottleville tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., spreading the positive message or the positive message. And then tonight or this afternoon at 4 o'clock, we do have Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. It's back. So we have to thank Chuck Gillentine from Defiance Ridge for wanting to stay on with us past 4th of July, which is where his contract was. And I love the fact that he said, let's keep going. So we're definitely going through the end of the year. If you've never watched one of those, we have a lot of fun. And I'm excited because Chuck told me yesterday that they won a bunch of awards. We're going to feature his Tramonette. He said they just won the best dry white in the state. Congrats, right? I can't wait to give him a big hug and say congratulations to he and his entire staff. We're going to talk about their medal awards. 19 out of 19. They got awards for 19 out of 19 of their wines, plus best label and People Choice Award. I mean, hello, I told you they're great. If you've never been, please support those that support us. So Wet Your Whistle Wednesday is tonight at 4 o'clock, and then we'll do it again on the final Wednesday of this month. Those are going to be done now every other Wednesday at Defiance Ridge. And if you hear the message there, that means on the Wednesdays he's not on, it makes room for somebody else. It could be a restaurant. It could be a really cool spirits shop like Clayton Winehouse that we used to do. They've talked about wanting to come back on, so I will give them the first choice. And if they want to do the alternates to Chuck, that would be fantastic, because then we can feature wines and bourbons and rums and vodkas and tequilas and craft beers, incredible charcuterie items, just a lot of fun that we do on Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. Now, if you're hearing this, you're realizing, well, my business could come up with a really cool segment and be featured regularly. That is absolutely correct. And that's what I want you to think about. So, Workout Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, Fitness Friday. I could take the show to a really cool gym. Yes, obviously they're going to spend some money, but it's well worth it because you have a lot of eyes. It gets into the thousands by the time the show is done with the live, and then it starts to be spread out to all of your followers, or people watch it on the restream later because the streams are there. 370 shows that we've done now, most likely somewhere around that number. Our 400th show, let me mention this before we get into our workout. Our 400th show is coming up. It'll either be the last week of September, or it will be probably celebrated the first week of October. So start thinking about businesses that want us to have our show there with a big celebration. I mean, that's when we start doing giveaways. We've got music. We've usually got some food and drinks and things like that. The 400th show, where do you think it should be? Weigh in and let us know that. Okay, let's see. Who else is shouting out? The RNC is very positive, Terry says. Loving all the people and the speeches. I will also watch the DNC. Absolutely. That's the thing about life. We've got to make sure that we hear both sides so that there's not so many divided. But again, trying to bring unity. It's time to unite to save our country. I like to watch and see real live speeches and hear the message, not rely on the news media, yes, to share, because we were flipping around last night and it's incredible to hear the message depending on which station you're listening to and what their agenda is that they want to push. Instead of spreading positivity, they're putting their negativity out there. All right, everybody, we mentioned that we are going to spread in the news for the first half hour and then get into a little workout. So yesterday we were able to do our Workout Wednesday taping. Instead of where I work out at Lifetime or down in my basement, we went over to the beautiful Ritz-Carlton, St. Louis. And I've got a message for all of our viewers of something special that they're doing with us, where you could actually work out in this gym. This could be your gym membership, and incredible offers to enjoy. One of the best massage therapists ever at their spa. So give this a listen. Time for Monica's Motivational Moments and a Workout Wednesday. So we just mentioned going into the break that we were going to talk about working the legs, more specifically working to slim down the legs. So we're talking the adductor muscles and then the outside, the abductors and the glutes. But high part, we're talking about gluteus maximus, gluteus minimus. Where do you do that? I like a multifunctional machine area. That way you can do so much before you ever leave. Sometimes you have to get creative. So today I actually have a little extra weight because there's not a regular cuff here. So I actually used ankle weights and then put your clip into it. And then we're going to be able to work here, here, and the butt without ever even leaving the machine. So watch, we're going to start with our adductors. If you want, you can hold on and then you're going to come out. I am flexing in my heel, not pointing the toe, so that I'm getting to the inside. Most people usually ask me, Monica, how many reps, how many sets should I do? Well, with this, I like to go lighter in the weight and higher in the repetition. So you're gonna come back. Don't let it touch. That's a little bit of a rest. So in all the years of training, people would ask, can I touch it? Well, if you let it touch, you're resting, even if it's just for a second. If you absolutely have to, fine. But otherwise, make it continue to go until you're done with your last rep. And let's act like this is 25. Then we come back down, slowly come back, never slam the weights together. That's gonna work right in here. 3 to 4 sets of 25 reps. Do that maybe a couple times a week. And as you continue to do that, you'll see this really start to lean out and get stronger and leaner. We're gonna move on. We're gonna do the outside. Okay, but before we do that, do you have any questions? Because you may have heard me say gluteus maximus. You think of the biggest muscles in the glute area, the gluteus minimus or gluteus medius. There's hip adductors. There's, again, abductors. There's adductors on the inside of the leg. You've got your quads, you've got your hamstrings, you've got all these insertion points. So when we talk about working intrinsic muscles, it's knowing the body, a true science behind what are you doing. So you normally hear people say, like parents will tell their kids, get your head out of your you-know-what. I actually tell people, put your head in it, because I want you to be thinking mind-muscle connection. So be thinking about what area you're working and how you do the angles, how you're pushing. Are you pointing your toe? Are you flexing your heel? All right, some really good tips to take care of that. So I just mentioned we were going to go to the outside. Let's do that. All right, we told you we were gonna flip and go to the opposite side. So women, you always talk about saddlebags and hips. I'm on the machine that I told you I like, but we're also gonna go into the yoga room and show you when you have nothing at all, when you go on vacation, when you're at your house. You don't wanna spend a lot of money on equipment. I get that. We'll show you how to do it without anything at all. But when you do have the use of incredible equipment like you do right here at the Ritz-Carlton, well then use it. We're gonna push outward. Again, I'm guiding with my heel, so I have the connection point to my hips. Slow and controlled, engage the core. It can be done if you have really good core control without holding on at all. It takes a lot more out of the core. To hold it out, slowly bring it back. And I do say slowly because you're working more into your obliques. They're like fingers that wrap around your waist, external, internal obliques. So if you want kind of a dual movement, compound, so many things are working at once, then don't hold on as you do your movement. Again, 3 to 4 sets, 25. Watch what happens with those legs. Okay, so we're gonna get into the glute specific in just a second. All of you that are signing on, do me a favor, let your friends and family know that we're on multiple platforms. If they normally watch on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on X, as soon as I went to go on this morning, it gave me a notification that we couldn't stream unless I switched to a premium account. So looks like we're going to have to spend some money on Elon Musk's platform. I'll do that because I think there's a lot that he's putting his name behind, a lot of money that he's putting behind people that are wanting to spread the message of positivity. So we'll be doing that so that we don't cancel out another platform, which I know a lot of people watched on. We'll take something from today and we'll make it into a reel and put that on there for those that missed out. And we'll put a link so that they can watch in case they missed it. But yes, we're on Facebook on my business account, which is Monica Adams, my personal account, which is Monica Adams Quentin, my YouTube, as well as Instagram and Rumble. So we are on multiple platforms. So if you have someone that says, I'm not on Facebook, I don't want to be, tell them to watch on YouTube. And in fact, do me one more, ask them to subscribe to the channel. That way they get a notification whenever we go live. And the subscribing, as you know, means you just click to follow. It does not cost anything. Terry says, thank you for showing the specific tips on training in the gym with the machines. You're welcome. We're going to get into the glute specific area right after the break. If you have any questions, if you have any comments about anything that we're showing you, please let me know because again, we're here for you. He wants to say, I can't believe I took your son's life. I don't know what I was thinking. I have so much regret and remorse. I've changed my life. Would you accept that apology?
I've never thought of that. Yeah, I would.
Do you think, because you talk about forgiveness, do you think that you all can ever forgive one another and come back together?
It wasn't just right. I'm not perfect. Just because my name is Bush, I don't have it all figured out. And I think they know that too.
I was cyclically depressed, so I could be the happiest person you ever met at 11 a.m. I could be on cloud 9, and by 7 p.m. that evening, I'd be sitting on a couch with a gun in my hand. I mean, hard not to get emotional. I
never feel sorry for being emotional.
I really, I was at a space to where I couldn't believe that I had brought my children into this.
Where's the light? Because many of you probably feel that there's this darkness and there's this thunder cloud that's constantly over you. This family has dealt with so much.
Our journey is our journey. There has to be purpose in this pain. There has to be something more powerful. I have to find something to be blessed about every day. I have to count my blessings and have gratitude every single day.
So beautiful. Again, I can't thank all the people that you're seeing in that promo and everyone since we started this show for telling their stories in the blue chair, for opening up and being so raw, for coming in and entertaining us with their incredible voices and incredible musicianship. We have laughed together. We've gotten aha moments together. We've been educated together. And we have found darkness and the light that follows that. So thank you so much to everybody. If you're just tuning in, feel free to drop in any comments that you want. I just went over to Instagram to make sure we're not missing anybody over there. And I saw Jenny initially, I think, sign in there. She said, hey, friend, love Wellness Wednesday. Yes, Jenny, thank you so much for tuning in. Love all the new people that are watching the show live. If you cannot, or you can only watch for a few minutes, don't forget to come back and watch the rest of the show because you never want to miss any part of it. All right, we're doing a little workout Wednesday as well. And we showed adductors, we showed your abductors, so the inside, the outside of the leg. But what about the glutes? Glute training is so very important and being very specific in tying in what you need in the glute area. So let's talk about glutes. We're going to finish the last movement now, which is all in the glutes. Now, the deeper you get down, the deeper we get into the glutes. And there's so much of that area that you can work. Again, we're still in the same machine. I haven't moved at all. I haven't moved the cuff. I am going to have to do the other leg, but let's finish this leg out. I'm going to come down and I'm going to hold here, and then I'm going to push back. Now watch, I'm going to keep going up, 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 hold, squeeze, and then slowly coming back down. Not touching the weight here, gonna push right back up again. Slowly coming back down. What I don't want is that you just kind of go through the motion here. Too many people say, Monica, I just want to get it done. Well, then you don't really want to get to your goals. That's what I'm going to stress. Slow, controlled, engaging the core, driving upwards. Now, watch. If I turn my foot out ever so slightly, I'm going to get up into the high part of my glutes and into the connection point of my hip. It all has to do with angles. Change it around, but don't rock that hip up too much. I want to get deep into the glute muscle and then turn and go into the hip as well. I mentioned that if you don't have anything and all you have is this, your body, you still can get a heck of a workout. So come with me, we're going to go into the yoga room. All right, we're in the yoga room, and all those moves that I just showed you can be done right here. We're going to go on to the other side of the leg and just watch how fast I go through these. I'm only going to show you this fast. I don't want you to move through it this fast. But this is how quickly you can do this. So what I was doing earlier to work the outside can be done here. If you have no resistance at all, you just go slow. You come up, you squeeze, and I mean squeezing here and here before you bring it back down. If you have the ankle weight that I had, then go ahead and put it around your ankle so you have a little added resistance. I'm drawing my navel inward. I am not pushing the belly out. So this is working while this is working as well. So you don't strain the neck. Cup your hand, your elbow, and your head, and go ahead and put it in there so you're relaxing into your neck. That's the outside. If I want to do the inside, I'm just going to turn, put this leg over the top, and again, with my heel flex, driving upwards, engaging my obliques now, relaxing my head into my arms, and coming upwards, again, working the adductor muscles, and then to go back onto here, I can get into my hands and knees on the ground and drive either upwards, pushing up through the heel, or I can do slow and controlled straight-legged lifts or an actual donkey kick. All of these going in to my glutes, my hips, and my inner thighs. So ladies and gentlemen, when you want to work legs, you can use resistance, you can use weights, you can use machines, whatever you do, get at it, get to work. And now, tell me what I can do for you. Shoot me an email, info@therealmonicaadams.com, and let's get your body working. There you go. So today, in honor of my interns, Ashlyn and Kelsey, we covered leg glute training. They said, we really want to know about that. And I said, it's the number one thing I have always gotten in all my years of training from women. They always want to know, what can we do to slim down the legs? So those are some good ones for you to use if you have access to a gym. And if you don't, if you've got resistance training opportunities with weights, with bands, wonderful. Use them for added resistance. But remember, there are no excuses. You can get a great workout in whether you have weights or whether you don't have weights. Just ask Ruby Lee that I've been training for the last, 6 weeks now. She has gotten her butt kicked, including yesterday. With all the crazy rain that we had and the storms and the flooding, I didn't want them driving. You know, they live in Foley, Missouri, and I didn't want them driving an hour and 10 minutes to my house. So we trained via Zoom. They ran over to a local gym and got on to Zoom with me, had her earbuds on, got a wonderful workout in, and we never picked up one weight. So when people go on vacation and say, hey, I can't work out, I'm like, what? First of all, a lot of you have access to a great gym, hopefully at a hotel or a resort. If you don't, stay in your hotel room and just pick a little square and have some room to move around. Like right now, I'm in our spare bedroom where my mom stays. That's why these pictures of my mom and I are all around us. I could do a great workout right in here. You got to use what you have and not make excuses. So Debbie said this is an easy one to do every day with light ankle weights. Yes, with ankle weights or without ankle weights. And I saw Terry asked you, I don't ever want you locking. The word locking makes me think that people are hyperextending. Never lock out the joints. So good question for you, by the way. Don't lock in the knees. Don't lock in the elbows. You want to do full range of motion without hyperextending or overextending and putting wear and tear on the joints. You don't want that happening. But when you are doing your glutes, yes, I want you to push this. Let's act like this is the heel. Push with the heel, guide with the heel, not pointing the toe on some of those exercises, but pushing so you are extending and you're not locking, but you're extending through the heel area. So you're doing that flex instead of the point. All right. Any other questions on those? Please let me know. And then again, I'm looking to load up like we did last year. It's all about you. This show is for you. I want to know what parts of the body you want me to feature, as well as what you want me to discuss from a spiritual or a mental health standpoint. Last year when we started, it was me and you in my office. We started the show just stripped down, raw and real. And every day I had a new topic from a different person saying, I want you to talk about purpose and pain. I want you to talk about children of older parents. I want you to talk about siblings taking care of a mother or a father with Alzheimer's. I just went back and watched so many of our shows from last year and realized you really brought to the table some incredible topics. But I want you to do the same thing. Don't give up on that. So when we are like this together, tell me what weighs on your mind or what weighs on your heart and your spirit that you would like for me to talk about. I will do that for you. I don't want to lose that component of you and I together. Carrie, can you do a motivational live with chair exercises? Oh my gosh, absolutely. I did that for Channel 5 because there were many people who said, Monica, what if I have limitations? Or what if I have mobility issues? Or what if I have a disability? All of those things, I want to make sure that no one's ever left out. So Carrie, there's so much that can be done in a chair. So you got it. Next week is for you. We will, well, shoot, I'm going to be in Cabo. You know what? We might have an opportunity to do it on Friday, Fitness Friday, because sometimes I said you'll get a double dose of a workout Wednesday or Wellness Wednesday and a Fitness Friday. So how about we do that for you? Motivational live with some chair exercises on Friday for Fitness Friday. For Carrie and for anybody else that you know that, they don't have to constantly be in a chair. I do want you to get up out of the chair and maybe use the chair as a point of holding on. So if you have someone that you think needs to hear that, be sure to let them know that we'll cover that on Friday. How does that sound? Debbie says she does these exercises every day. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anybody else? Questions, comments? Please let me know. In our final 10 minutes, I'm going to talk about what it takes to actually keep yourself motivated, because one of the biggest things that I hear from the mental spiritual side is how many people just talk themselves out of it. They give themselves excuses. So we'll discuss that.
When I started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, with the help of my dedicated employees, we now have hundreds of products, some you might not even know about. To get the word out, we're having a $25 extravaganza. 2-pack multi-use MyPillows, $25. MyPillow sandals, $25. And for the first time ever, our 6-pack towel sets, you guessed it, just $25. Our brand new 4-pack dish towels, $25. And I've never done this before. Premium MyPillows with all new Giza fabric, any size, any loft level, even king size for only $25. And there's so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code for our $25 extravaganza. Order $75 and over. Your entire order ships absolutely free.
show you some of the things you might not be thinking about that we ordered. Again, for the beach, I'm going to take those slides or sandals along with me to Cabo, as well as that beach towel. I got the dolphin one, and since Jim is so patriotic, we got him the one that has the bald eagle on it. He also is a big coffee drinker, didn't realize that my pillow has coffee. How many of you have purchased a coffee and you can give me your own little review on it, whether it's medium roast, light roast, dark roast? All of those things you can get from My Pillow, giving back to those that are part of us. Again, I want to thank him for coming on and appreciating the level of positivity that we give on this show. So they came on with us, a couple of months ago, I guess, and never slept better. I've been doing reels and stories about the dogs. It's so funny to see Tessa get onto Adelaide's bed, Opus get onto Adelaide's bed, Adelaide go onto, they're all over the place. The three dogs, I've never seen them share beds before, but they're all enjoying the throws and the dog beds. And those prices are crazy, crazy inexpensive. I've spent over $100 on dog beds, $75, $80. The fact that these are so inexpensive, you would think maybe they're not good quality. Not the case. They seem like they're sleeping better than they ever have that I've had them. So thanks again to My Pillow. All right, Terry, maybe touch base on tips for working out in your home without weights and equipment, which we just showed, right? In the yoga room, there was no equipment there. For those that don't have access to a gym, improvise exercises like walking the steps in your home or using food cans as weights. So yes, when the pandemic happened, one of the very first things that I did was show doing wall squats or using a jug of milk or cans. I think of seniors that I've trained over the years, and they don't have access to weights, even little hand or ankle weights. So they would use soup cans. So like a little 1 pounds. Or less than 1 pound to be able to do raises or front raises, things like that. So yes, Terry, I can go back through that, but that obviously was the last part of what I showed today was if you don't have access to any of the equipment, that's exactly what I mentioned, that we went into the little yoga room, which can be in your house, and I did every one of those exercises I showed you with the weights without any weights, just showing you the movement. So we can go deeper into that. Again, I don't want to be redundant because I just showed that, but we can show other things that you can do when you have minimal to no weights. Joe, I'm going to get to his question. He said, can you identify the muscles used during cycling? And then it said rowdies, and I was trying to figure out what that meant, and then he fixed it. Okay, so identify the muscles used during cycling, and how does cycling differ than the exercises that you showed today? Well, yes, obviously with cycling, and I'll go through that because now you're giving us some really good ones. We've got how to do exercises in a chair, cycling muscles that are used, whether you're doing it maybe in your own stationary bike, a recumbent bike, if you're doing actual cycling in a gym, if you're going out biking, or if you're using a trainer at home. We can discuss all those things, and we can actually probably include something else with that when it comes. People usually ask me, what are the best things to do for their heart endurance training? I get a lot of questions when people are in the gym. What's the best piece of cardio equipment? So we can address all that. We'll do Carrie's first, workouts in a chair. Joe's talking about cycling. Going into what I'd like to do is a different area because I just showed you exercises to do without weights. So I'm not going to show you legs again. We can show body resistance. How about that for Terry? Anybody else? Before we wrap up, I just want to say this. A lot of people ask me the motivational side of it. Like, how do I ever get myself to work out? How do I ever get myself to the gym? It is a choice. First and foremost, it's a choice. And I know that sounds so simple, but it is. You choose positivity. You choose negativity. Whether you agree with it or not, I don't care, because I've been training for a long, long time, and everything that I've seen and all the coaching I've done, physical and spiritual and life coaching, it all comes down to a choice. You can choose to stay in your misery. You can choose to stay with toxic people. You can choose to stay in a drama-filled relationship, or you can start taking measures to get out of it. And I stress that. It's not that you're just going to all of a sudden say everything's going to change the very next day. No, but Rome wasn't made in a day, right? This world wasn't made in a day. God chose to go through steps of it. So we need to follow that journey. We need to follow his leadership, if you believe. And if you don't, that's fine. I'm not pushing faith on you, but these are my beliefs and this is my show. So I'm going to sprinkle in things about faith and then take it from there. If you can make a choice today, even if it's 5 minutes of the day. Guess what? Those 5 minutes were better than the negativity that you've been living in for the last several days. So when it comes to getting up and working out, it's the same mindset. You can choose to sit on the couch and eat salty chips and candy and cookies that you know are not serving you, or you can start to wipe that away. You can start going through your cabinets, going through your refrigerator, start getting rid of everything that's not serving you, maybe donate it off if you want to, and you don't want it, because some people are like, oh, I don't want to throw it away, so I'm just going to eat it all. Let me just get rid of it all. No, I don't want you doing that. I'd rather you give it to someone. I'm not a big fan of those types of foods anyway, but at least if you are in the mindset of I don't want to give it away because it's waste, or I don't want to throw it away because it's wasting, then fine, then donate it to somebody that's hungry, or donate it to a shelter, and they can have it out and where it's spread out to multiple people instead of one person eating all of that crap. Because that's what it is. If you feel sluggish, you feel that you're worn down, all those things you have decided to make a part of your life. You're the one that's going to the grocery store and picking all that up. You're the one that's driving by and going to a gas station. Who's buying food at gas stations? I've been hearing clients say this lately, and I'm like, no, plan ahead, go to the grocery store, start meal prepping. Meal prepping is so organized and important, especially if you are on the road a lot or you're going to be gone for a great extended period of the day. You need to package things up, have them with you. I then hear the excuse of, but then it's going to go bad. Nope, you have a cooler, you put ice in it, you put your food on the ice, or you take that food, you put it in the refrigerator where you're at work. Excuses after excuses after excuses is exactly why you are where you are. So the motivational side of today, before we wrap up, has to do with this. No more excuses. You just have to start journaling. You have to start writing down the things that have gone wrong in your life and then look at what role you have played in that going wrong. Instead of pointing fingers at someone else and saying it's their fault. They did this to you. They did that to you. No, they didn't. You gave them power to make that happen. So I know some horrific things may have happened to people. I am not at all dismissing that, but I'm telling you, why live in that past when you've got days ahead of you? If you're lucky, none of us are promised tomorrow, correct? We're not promised one more second. We're here together. This is a blessing. You're hearing the message. I'm able to deliver the message. I don't take that lightly. I thank him above for the messages that he gives me every single day to say to you, to really connect with you. But if I say it over and over again and you don't do anything with it, that's on you. That's not on me. I've done my role, which is to lead you, to guide you, to personal train you, to life coach you, whatever part that I play in your life, to present this show to you. You go back, you listen to it time and time again, because repetition is what matters. We have to hear things multiple times before it really sinks in. Some people aren't focused. Some people are all over the place. That means they might need to meditate. They might need to calm themselves down. They might need to take a little extra time for themselves to hear the message that maybe they've been hearing for years, but they never put it into action. Today, I'm asking you to put some facet of it into action and then watch what happens. So yes, as you know, I'm a big proponent of journaling. A lot of people are talking about journaling. That was the very first piece of merchandise that we came out with because that's what you all asked for. You asked for my mantra to be on the cover of those journals. You can get our merchandise, by the way, on our website, therealmonicaadams.com. Go to the shop section and you will find journals. You will find t-shirts that say, know your value. You will get stopped most likely, like a lot of the people who have been wearing them, probably being told by other kind human beings, oh, I love that message on your shirt. Where'd you get that? And on the side, it says The Real Monica Adams. So you are spreading to the world the fact that we are doing this show and that you're going to get more people watching. We've got jackets. We've got t-shirts for guys and girls. We've got jackets for guys and girls. We've got the journals, and then we have the coffee mugs or tea mugs, since I don't drink coffee. All of that's out there to remind you of what I've been saying for a year and a half now. So when I talk about the fact that the message has been there, it's been there waiting for you. But what do you do with it? That's what I want to know. What do you do with the message of kindness? Do you just hear it, but you don't put it into play? Do you go and pick your kids up from school and you're cussing out all the other parents? You are yelling, you're flipping people off. Well, that's not a Christian way to live. That's not kindness, is it? No. The faith-based side of you, whether you are going to church or not, I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about living a faith-based life, a spiritual-filled life, a kind life. Again, if you're not involved in any of the things that you consider to be faith, then think about kindness, because we all have the ability to have that in our being, correct? Kind human beings. I consider that to be faith-based because it's being guided by something that is guiding us. We all collectively agree that we are guided by something else, whether you believe in God or you don't. That's on you. I happen to, and he's a big part of my life, and what made me choose to take this step to do what I wanted to do with my life to provide to you. I'm just asking you to take the message of kindness and do something good with it. So today, do me a favor before we meet tomorrow for positive talk time. I'm asking you today to do one piece of what you consider to be kind to another human being that you meet in your life. And then watch what happens of how you feel and how they feel. Simply because you gave somebody a compliment, you opened the door, you shook somebody's hand, whatever it may be, you locked eyes with someone and gave them a message of hope. That's what I'm asking you to do. That is the message that we have in each and every day. All right, everybody, I will see hopefully some of you at 4:00 this afternoon as we come to you live from Defiance Ridge Vineyards, as you're seeing on the bottom of the screen. Wet Your Whistle Wednesday at 4 p.m. We'll have a little fun for about 20, 30 minutes. We will talk about the Tramonette and all the big awards that Defiance Ridge just got. And then tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., I'll be with you at Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa in Cottleville, spreading the love and kindness to our fur babies, our four-legged friends. And then on Friday for Carrie, we'll do exercises in a chair. I'm sitting in a chair right now. If you never can get out of the chair, that does not mean that you can't take care of your body. And then do me a favor and mark this on your calendar. August 8th, Adventure Unknown. That's our next big mobile Monica. So that business, they knew their value and they said, I want you to come to Adventure Unknown. It's in Fenton, and it is one of the coolest places that you will ever find. It's where your community is waiting, where St. Louis's driven spirits find their tribe. So if the really cool thing I saw yesterday, they were talking about if your company pays you to have an office space at home, why not have a space that looks like this? You could hold your meetings. You could have conferences. You could have Zoom calls. You can sit and have some drinks to celebrate some great agreement that you and another business signed or whatever it may be. There's a really cool speakeasy that they have there. There's a neat bar. They've got ping pong table. They've got old school video games. They've got a pickleball court. They're putting in a gym. They're putting in a golf simulator. They're building on the outside of it. Yeah, that's speakeasy right there. They've got a bubbles room, a lounge for the ladies. It is one of the coolest places that you will ever find. And it is right there in Fenton, Missouri. I mean, just look at this place. Look at this room where you could hold meetings. All of this can be yours if you want to be a part of that community. So come on August 8th when we showcase it all, and you can say, hey, I think I want to join that. I think I want that membership to be a part of that. That's what I want. Again, an incredible community that's waiting there for you. Carrie said she's ready for Friday. Yep, I love that. The power of positivity. Thank you so much to Kelsey, who's been moderating, and she did some shooting of the videos from yesterday. I want to thank Kelsey and Ashlyn. Ashlyn put all the content in for today's show. They're wonderful, aren't they? They're just like all the praise and the accolades that you were giving to Michelle when she used to moderate. Michelle now has all this off of her plate, gives her a little bit more time with her family and her friends and being able to get away and do the things that she wants to do. So the moderating is now from my interns, the editing of the audio side, the video editing, the prepping of the set, all of that taken off of Michelle's plate. She's been able to do some promos for us, but I see a lot more relaxation on her side. She's not having to work really as much as she was able to. Now she's back to her life of enjoyment, which makes me very, very happy. I do want to say tomorrow we'll drop a new audio podcast at 8 a.m. So right after we wrap up our Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa Positive Talk Time, we will get into our audio podcast. And if you have not heard the interview that Todd Michaels did with me, he flipped chairs. So I was in the blue chair and he was in the host chair. If you didn't hear that or see that, do me a favor and check that out tomorrow, 8 a.m. on all of the audio podcast platforms. Jenny's great way to end. She says, such incredible words to start the day. This is why I love you. I love you as well. Luann, thank you so much for everything you do and information you give us. You are very welcome. Debbie, love you as well. And Debbie actually said something earlier that I wanted to get into before I wrapped up. And it is more so the message again about always keeping an open mind. Terry said, stay out of the middle aisles while shopping in the grocery store, walk the perimeter. Yes. Clean out those cabinets and donate. Love it, love it, love it. I go to my second bedroom, turn my computer on, and do silver sneakers online. There you go. Stephanie, way to go. They have a lot of different classes. I love silver sneakers. Awesome. You got this. Life changes. I did this behind closed doors, working out. I love that. Through a lot of self-worthlessness, determination, I've gone from 285 pounds to 134 so far. My goal is 125. 5'2", I'll be 70 in November. Through proper food and exercise, anyone can do this. Way to go, Debbie. I love that message. And she also said earlier when I was talking about the RNC and the DNC, she wants everybody to watch both sides. As I mentioned, it's always important to give both sides the aisle your full attention. Diane said, today is the light after the rain. You bet. And then Debbie says, thank you for watching the DNC. Okay, this is the negative side that I would like you to pull out of your comments, though. She said, when it airs for hearing true honesty. There's honesty on both sides. And when people open their mind and realize that sometimes you see things or hear things that are only pushed by a certain agenda, that's the only part I would ask you to take out, because there's honesty on both sides of the aisle. Okay, DNC and RNC. Instead of so many lies, she says, or so many things said that seem questionable, there's lies on both sides, though. Okay, we have to be honest with that. She says, I too have been listening to the RNC, haven't missed any night. Looking forward to the DNC. Again, spread kindness, but it is an open mind. And what I would say, because this is the small things that you can change in life, understand that there's lies on both sides of the aisle. And there's kindness on both sides. There's positivity on both sides. There's agendas to be pushed on both sides. So when we talk about that, understand that instead of throwing that out there and claiming that only one side has it, that's not true. The truth is, and it will always win out, that the people that are showing more kindness in the world are the ones that are going to make things happen in our world, because that is what we need. Unity, not division. And that's how I'm going to leave you. I hope you have a beautiful day. I thank each and every one of you for tuning in. And the thing I want you to do now is share the love, spread the kindness, share this on all your social media platforms, wherever people follow you, because that's how we have more and more. We are nearing 29,000 followers on my business Facebook page, and we want to grow that YouTube page. We want to grow the Instagram, the Rumble, and now I got to get off so that I can go and pay for X so that we can get back on X for you. Thank you, everybody, so much. And remember, be anything you want to be in the world. Don't let anybody squash your dreams, because you can do it. Motivate yourself. Share the love of kindness. And overall, understand that you spread more kindness and the world becomes just that. God bless you all.